Welcome to this explainer. Now, normally we're breaking down massive data sets, right? Complex economic theories, sprawling research papers, that kind of thing. But today we are doing something highly unusual. We are executing a deep dive microanalysis into the absolute extreme edge of digital minimalism. We're going to deconstruct exactly how an artificial intelligence interpreted a highly physical task and the, quite frankly, bizarre minimalist output it generated. So, prepare yourself, because what we're looking at today is a total enigma.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to just look at these words, read them. I'm actually going to give you a few seconds of complete silence right now, just to absorb the sheer, sparse reality of this text. Yeah, that's it. That is literally the entirety of the transcript we're analyzing today. 10 words. Just 10 words. It's an auto-captioning algorithm's complete, unedited interpretation of a human event. I mean, it almost looks like a typo, doesn't it? But nope, this is raw data.
To really grasp why this is so deeply fascinating, we have to anchor this seemingly absurd little digital artifact in its actual internet context. Because, this isn't some random experimental poetry we stumbled across in a modern art gallery. No, this text comes directly from a YouTube channel called the Poogilml. And the actual source material, it's a video explicitly titled Hot Tub Time-lapse Clean. So the visual reality of this source is a real person doing intense, grime-scrubbing, sweaty physical labor. And yet the machine listening to this event, it's somehow decided that the absolute only relevant auditory data worth capturing was that completely bizarre sequence we just looked at.
I really want to emphasize the sheer magnitude of this data reduction here, and I mean that with complete academic seriousness. 10. That is the magic number. Out of an entire time-lapse, which, by the way, is a video format inherently designed to compress hours of intense physical labor into a fast-paced, digestible format, the auto-captioning algorithm took that compression a massive step further. It compressed the entire auditory experience of the event into exactly 10 syllables. There's literally no sound of water splashing translated to text, no scrubbing noises interpreted as actions, absolutely no ambient background chatter. The algorithm just filtered out all the reality of the physical room and left us with 10 solitary beats of data. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what the machine was hearing, or at least how its internal logic decided to categorize all that noise. Just look at the distribution we have here. We've got exactly 8 instances of the word so, 1 single instance of me, and 1 instance of you. The overwhelming repetitive rhythm of the word so completely dominates the machine's dataset. It's kind of like a baseline, right? Like a hum of static or maybe rushing water that the neural network just frantically translated into a single repeating utterance, simply because it didn't know what else to do with the audio. If we actually lay these 10 words out chronologically, it honestly reads way less like a machine error and much more like a highly intentional digital poem or even a minimalist musical composition. Think about it. We begin with point 1, the intro. So-so. It immediately establishes this baseline rhythm. Then, right at point 2, we get an interruption, me. Just a sudden injection of the self. Following that, point 3 is an extended, sweeping return to the rhythm. So-so-so-so-so. The machine goes right back into its ambient trance. Until finally, point 4 provides the ultimate conclusion. You. Comparing these two distinct human pronouns reveals something pretty fascinating. Over on the left, we've got the singular me popping up early in the sequence, and then on the right, the final you. Just look at the sheer isolation of these two concepts. The me and the you are separated by this massive, repetitive wall of machine static, those 5 repeating so's. It's actually a stark visual representation of two entities trying to connect, documented by a machine that only seems to recognize human presence in these fleeting little glitches amidst the deafening noise of its own processing. So the crucial point is, what is the machine actually trying to tell us? Let's just pause for a second and really think about that. By completely stripping away all the real-world context of a hot tub being drained and scrubbed, the auto-captioning algorithm has accidentally created this massive narrative shift. It took a totally objective physical task and somehow turned it into an almost existential dialogue. Like, is the machine identifying as the me? Are we, the viewer, the you? This algorithmic attempt to somehow find human language in a fundamentally nonverbal environment has produced a fascinating, entirely unintended story. Now, let's tie this all back to the physical reality of the medium itself. A time-lapse, by definition, is a recording technique where hours of slow, physical labor are heavily compressed into mere seconds of playback. The visual is fast, it's frantic, and it's highly compressed. Hours of scrubbing and draining were just digested by a camera lens. But what we've discovered here is that the physical compression of the video format was perfectly, almost eerily matched by the absolute linguistic compression of the AI. The machine literally mirrored the visual time-lapse with its very own audio time-lapse. Which brings us right back to the core of the Enigma. 10 words. Me, you. As we rely more and more on these automated systems to index, transcribe, and interpret our physical world, this tiny little sequence leaves us with a pretty profound thought. How much of our actual human labor, the sweat, the effort, the gritty physical reality of our daily lives, is simply lost in translation by the very tools designed to document it? Or perhaps, how often is our totally mundane labor accidentally turned into weird, abstract poetry by the algorithms just quietly observing us? I'll leave you to think about that.